Alright, welcome back to the Guitar Player and His Van podcast. What is up? Today is, June 12th? June 11th? June 12th today. I think this is going to be like episode 9, possibly. So where are we at? Where did we leave off? I think last podcast probably leaves off at coming back from Nashville after rehearsal. And so let's get caught up. We've had a pretty crazy 2.5 weeks since then. Played in Evansville, Indiana, Attica, Indiana, Canton, Ohio, Omaha, Nebraska, and Kansas City, Missouri. We also, in Attica, Indiana, went to the Badlands off-road park, which currently, that's where I'm heading again because Ryan wanted to go back. So we're heading back there, and I've got a bunch of recording equipment. We plan to film and make a ton of content. Music, videos, vlogs. We're going to have fun, hang out. We're going to discuss ideas, discuss our future, and get some progress made on the Dixielander project. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a pretty good time. So let's start back. Let's start at the mud park. Okay, so kind of like right now, I'm driving, except I had Michelle with me, my girlfriend, a lovely lady. She tagged along for about a week with me through the Indiana and Ohio shows, and we went to the mud park. We got there, figured out our surroundings, our bearings, thought we were gonna ride with Ethan and Lexi in their Can-Am 4-seater, and we did for about 30 minutes, if that, before we got our own Polaris, I think, was it XP 1000 Ultimate something edition, something like that. Ridiculous, to say the least, how amazing side-by-sides are, especially ones that cost over 20 grand like that. That's just ridiculous. But they're insanely fun. And now I get it. Now I understand why Ethan and Ryan, especially Ethan goes all the time and has been going all the time forever. That's what he loves to do. And I get it now. I mean, that's some fun stuff, man. Definitely adrenaline gets pumping. Taking a vehicle, like, especially if you're just a regular driver like myself. I don't speed, really. Maybe go 10 over. Come on. 10 over? Really? On a highway? Get out of here. That's nothing compared to real speeders. I'm just a daily driver type of guy. I've never really gotten in a powerful machine like that, and I found out I can use them. I'm pretty good with them. I'm decent. I kept us alive. We never rolled. We never flipped. I definitely had Michelle scared at one point going up a hill. I had it in high and not 4-wheel, just having fun, and I couldn't climb it, so I had to stop, and she thought we were going to roll backwards. We were fine. It was going to be all right. But she still swears that we were going to fall backwards, but we weren't. I mean, we were fine. Anyways, yeah, the first day at the Badlands, we got some riding in all the way to about 7 or so, and then we chilled back at the cabin and had s'mores and all that stuff. And the second day, got out there, had a bunch of fun. I mean, it was all day, it felt like, nearly. We did a lot of driving the second day. Not enough, though. So, we're going back, you know, and it was crazy, man. We're down at the Badlands. We got this big old Prevost all the way in the back of the woods, basically, the boonies. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic out there. I'm looking forward to be out there and experience the nature again, at least. That stuff is it feels great, you know. Holy shit! Woo! That whole bridge is nothing but cover up after cover up, patch after patch. Come on, Illinois. Get that together. So yeah, the second night, we got to get ready. In a couple hours, we're going to be leaving, heading towards Evansville, Indiana, driving 3 hours south from Attica, Indiana. We go from an Eastern time zone to a Central time zone. Indiana, with its time zones, I mean, it's messed up. It looks like you got to the northwest corner and the southwest corner of Indiana. There's like 2 chunks of Central, and then the rest of Indiana is Eastern time zone. And if you look down the frickin' map, Nashville, I believe, is farther east than Attica, Indiana is, but Attica is in the Eastern time zone and Nashville is Central. What is going on here, folks? None of this makes any sense. We just have like a broad stroke of a line for a time zone. At least for a time zone. Come on. Wouldn't be that hard. And get rid of daylight savings time. Let's just stick to 1. Come on. Come on, people. It's not that bad. Yeah. So, that was interesting. To be going back to Central and then coming back to East and then all of that, yeah. We had to figure out all of our arrangements, what we were taking, what we were leaving, because we were coming back to Attica, Indiana on Friday. So the second day was Wednesday night, leaving for Thursday in Evansville at this marina that we played. Very, a smaller dive bar venue. Definitely a Thursday show. We still gave them all we got. Didn't earn an encore. Sorry, guys. Didn't earn an encore that night. It wasn't that you didn't earn it. It was more like we had to get back. We had to get going. Because we had to go all the way back to Indiana. Attica, Indiana. To the Badlands. That night. And we decided we would get back to the Badlands. And Mason Sound had already set up our SL stage. And so we wouldn't have stagehands with us, but we would have help, or we would have our crew, all going at it. And man, I feel like we got to figure out some way to get everybody a bonus at the end of the year or something. I gotta get everybody's names, addresses, and everything. Every single one of these people, part of my crew, has done something for me when I've asked them. They don't have to do those things. There's people on our crew that just go up and beyond, upwards and beyond, for everybody's helping each other do something. It's just tremendous to be around. From, you know, JD, our truck driver, to Kalani, helping us on the live production side, not just the studio production and producing guys. I mean, Ken, Mike, Nate, all of our ATS and Mason crew guys, when they're there and they're helping us, I mean, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. High Star, B-Loose, fucking T2, when he gets in the mix, that man's helpful. Everybody's just looking out for each other. And so yeah, we got back to the Badlands, watched the sunrise as we were setting up, and we got about 1 hour more out of that day of riding in before we had to turn in our rentals. And man, it was just such a great time. Am I leaving anything out with Evansville? Not really. Not that I can think of. Oh, we were right on which river? The Ohio River? Maybe. I can't remember which river we were on. I think it was the Ohio River. And you could be standing in the parking lot in two different states, Kentucky and Indiana, at the same time. That was pretty funny. And again, state lines there is really weird on the river and how that all works. Like, it's cool to be playing on the water like that. I tell you. Playing on water or near water is always something mystical, I guess. That's at least it's something that I heard in the Swampers documentary about what's the studio? It's in Macon, right? Macon, Georgia. We got the Swampers, and they were, I forget what studio that is. But I hear that it was down by the water, right? Or something like that. Leonard Skinner, somebody said, Gary Rossington or something, making music by the water, recording it, writing it, and performing it. There's something to it. It's kind of spherical in a way, and that's kind of what you want in your musical shapes, is spheres most of the time, circles and spheres. And I really don't know what that means. I don't know how to explain that to you. If that is a bunch of gobbly woo-woo shit to you, then that's what it is. Kind of it is to me, you know. I have my foot in it, half don't understand it. That's kind of the thing about music when you're trying to master it and get good at it, is that you have to realize that it's got you by the balls. It's always elusive and it's an ever-changing shape, you know, wave of form. Getting crazy with the music talk here and the woo-woo. But Badlands, Indiana, turned in our vehicles. Our Polaris RZR side-by-sides. Polaris, all right, like police, not a Polaris. Like it's like a Polaris. It's Polaris. Me and Lexi. She kept making fun of me for saying Polaris. We sound checked. We had a bunch of fun sound checking that day. We kind of like jammed. What did I do? I did some Tyler Childers. I did White House Road. I hadn't sang it in a long time, and I was just like, man, this is fucking sick. We're out here. Been doing stuff for a while. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, just tremendous road life right then. Played that song, and then Molly, she got up and started messing around with Taylor Swift's Tim McGraw, and I looked up the chords, and I kind of started playing it, and was singing it with her, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to play chords. They got the chords. Ethan's playing bass, she's playing keys. I went and hopped on the drum set, and we jammed, and it turned into something just silly. Absolutely hilarious, though. I love them. Those two bring me such joy as performers and musicians. Because it really seems like, honestly, they're just, for me, honestly, they're the most regular musicians I've ever met. I think. At the same time, they're so excellent. I think that's probably, I guess that's probably my quality. I hope that's my quality. I don't know. I guess that maybe that's all of our qualities. That's probably why Ryan likes us so much, is that we're all fucking awesome, just like him, but we all want to be normal human beings as well. Regular people. We're human beings just like you guys. Alright? There's no difference. Alright? We've got special talents and we want to share them with you. And you're going to share the moment with us. We'll all share it together. It's this just awesome feeling, okay? I don't know how to describe it other than that, you know? I hope that it's mutually beneficial. What we share on stage with the crowd, and what the crowd shares with us, and how the fans interact outside of that and support us. I mean, we're doing this for ourselves, but we also do this for you because we know you're watching. We want you to have something to engage with, at least on a weekly basis. That's kind of the purpose of why I'm heading to Badlands right now. And yeah, I don't know. We're having a great time. I just can't wait to make some. We've already made some pretty amazing music together. You know, I haven't realized it yet necessarily because I want to do a little bit more with it. I almost want to see a body of music so I can have context of in relationship to, like, okay, so what is this? What is our sound? What are we achieving here, you know? I'm going to back out. Hopefully it stays recording. And I think I've got a change here on Waze. Yep, 1.5 miles I need to take. Chicago, 57 North. What? So, Canton, Ohio is the Saturday gig. Let's wrap up the Badlands gig. That place filled up like nobody's business. I've never played for that many people in a field. It was close to 6,000 people, I think. They packed out. There was a line to get out of the frickin' place. There was that many people. I mean, it took forever for people to get out of there, and you know, we had to get packed up between the cabin we were in and the bus and, you know, stage equipment. There was like 3 different places we were packing shit up. And including my vehicle, because Michelle would be driving my vehicle. Jeez! Come on! You think they could fix a frickin' exit, an off-ramp area? Come on. That was so bad. So it was pretty slightly chaotic getting out of the Badlands. Michelle and Lexi stayed back a little bit at the cabin when we took off. They got some sleep in. We headed to Canton, Ohio on the bus, and Michelle eventually arrived, probably about 3 hours after us, her and Lexi. They had a horrible time. It sounded like driving in Indiana. The roads just got worse and worse and worse for them. So sorry about that, ladies. That couldn't have been fun, especially Lexi. She was pulling a trailer with they've got an F-350 diesel. So the Can-Am was on it, and she's pulling it, and the roads are freaking terrible, and oh man, felt for them that day. But then, yeah, we played in Canton, Ohio, at Stark County Fairgrounds for part of their Country Fest series, I believe. Pretty crazy to be that far east. You don't realize how close you are to the coast when you are on that side of Ohio. And the country looks a little different there, but there's familiarity, but like you're like, ooh, these homes were built at a certain time, and they were all going up at that time. And that's why they look the way they do now. I don't know, it kind of made me think about the expansion of like construction and the way people built homes and how it progressed from east to west at a certain time in the country, and then I imagine probably how it progressed from the west side into the into the central, both, you know, going both ways from the east inward. Building practices are so different all around the country, but you know, there's a standard at this point in time. I'm getting back into my carpentry universe here, or it's coming from there. There's a standard of doing things the right way when it comes to building a home, and most of the old ways these homes were built that I was looking at, I was like, geez, that has to be pretty rough in there. Like the amount of remodel that a place like that would require over time, man, I don't even know if it'd be worth it. But anyways, Canton, Ohio was insane. A lot of West Virginians there, a lot of Kentuckians, I think. Definitely some redneck Ohioans. It's just, wow, this is getting really dusty here. Incredible time to be, I think that was like 6,500 people. They had a huge grandstand and then a track area, and I mean, that place was just filled up and lit up, and I mean, we stayed probably an hour and a half. Ryan did the entire time. I only did probably about 30 minutes of an hour and a half worth of signing autographs on the rail after the show. And yeah, Ryan's a champ. But I went out there and I helped a little bit, talking to the crowd. Not everybody got, you know, what they wanted, so trying to be there and participate in some way, talk with people. They want to ask me about Ryan. And the conversations I had that night with some of the folks there was fantastic. I got to tell them about me a little bit. They wanted to hear about me. They were interested to hear about my story and how Ryan's taken me to this spot in my life. And, you know, I say things like this, and if Ryan was here, Ryan would say, no, you're here because of you, man. Because you're the right guy to be doing this shit, you know. I know that's what Ryan would be saying right now. I know that's what Kalani would be saying. That's what's so great about working with people like this. They give you more belief in yourself than than you thought you had. They're like, dude, you're here for a reason. It's because you do have it. Molly has it. Ethan has it, you know. We're here to change things. We're here to show the industry and the music world There's a way. There's a way to do it without being told how to do it. You know, and you can own it more, and it can be far more raw and real, and less round table discussions of, not round table, long rectangle boardroom conferences about what albums need to be made and how much they need to sell, and that's not the purpose of this stuff, you know? For an artist like me, I am in the best position I could possibly be. I got people asking me to be me. Woo! Sign me up. That's what I do. I'm all about that. You want me to be me? And we're going to figure out how to be each other all together? Fuck right. This is going to be powerful. Yeah. It's been a tremendous time. Me and Michelle booked us a hotel after the Ohio gig, and we went back there and stayed the night, got up, drove home, about 8-hour drive from Canton, Ohio, back to Springfield, Illinois. Woo! It was a good drive. I was definitely glad to be home to see my pupper. Wait, I had to wait a whole day. I had to go pick him up the next day. That stunk. It was weird not having a dog at home when we got there. But yeah, so I had a few days there, and then me and the lighting director, Nate, we hopped in a rental and caught the bus in Kansas City, where we stayed for a little bit, and then we drove up that night to Omaha, Nebraska, and me and Ethan rode with Beth and Ryan in the Hellcat, and good Lord, that thing is just powerful. Like, when Ryan was saying, I'm barely touching the throttle here, and it went, vroom, vroom. I mean, just screaming at you, growling. And he's barely tapping the pedal. Like, he's barely holding the pedal down so that he can keep it around 65, 70 mile an hour. And then he'd barely just tap it, and it would jump right up. I mean, it's just crazy how much power that thing. And he said, he's like, I've been really fast in this. I won't tell you the speed he told me. And what's scary is how quickly it gets there. You're like, whoa, we're already there. This is the fastest I've ever been, and we're already there. Let's whoa. And you can tell though, like when he said he was tapping it, I knew he was. And a vehicle like that, I feel like it's too much power for me. There's just certain things about well manufactured and engineered, high-powered human inventions. There's just something about those type of things, all right? It's like holding a really nice AR or a nice shotgun, a fancy guitar. You put that in your hand, you're like, whoa, this is insane. You get in a luxury vehicle, a hot rod car, anything like, you know, there's this thing about it that's special. Like the person who made this, the whole intention was, this is special, okay? And yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't know. Being in that Hellcat, I was just like, wow. It took a while before I was actually tired and falling asleep in the back seat, because I definitely had like a small drip of adrenaline the whole time being in that damn thing with him. I knew he was gonna keep us safe, but good lord, that thing's just powerful. So yeah, we got to the venue real late. I got back on the bus and went back to sleep. The Astro in Omaha was pretty interesting. It's a brand new venue. It has like an outside venue for everybody back home listening. It's got like a Devon Lakeshore amphitheater outside spot, but less like seating and stands. It's more like, it's like the size of Devon Lakeshore. Actually, like a bigger stage than that. Same sort of setup though. And then like the Sherman Amphitheater crowd area. That's kind of what that's like for people back home. That's the seating arrangement. It's like if you took both of those, you get the stage from Devon and you get the Sherman Amphitheater like environment where seating wise and everything. It might be slightly bigger because of the stage like up front, you know. Very cool stage though on the outside because the trusses, the lighting trusses up there was a huge ladder that goes to a box that's fenced in that you get in, and then you climb stairs, and then you're on top of, there's walk planks on top of the trusses, the lighting trusses up there. So the riggers, all they have to do is just get up there. They never have to hang really from anything. And they just rig to those spots. It seems like the most efficient and safe way to do a production there. I was very impressed by all of that. But that's on the outside. On the, 180 degrees around, plus a hallway, is the inside stage. And that's got a kind of a bigger pageant, like from St. Louis, the pageant, if you know that style of room. Kind of a bigger House of Blues. It is a little bigger. Acoustically engineered room, awesome PA, awesome stage, just a brand new place and facility, great amenities and green rooms. Yeah, all the showers you could need for a crew like us. Fantastic show. I mean, we had an amazing show that night. It was tremendous. It was a fantastic night. I mean, I shot some footage with my GoPro that night. It was only in 4K 30 frames though, so it can look a lot better. I think I have the right SD card now. But next day, so we got on the bus, and after midnight, that was June 7th, midnight, June 8th, everybody's wishing me happy birthday. We went down the slides over there on the opposite side of the outside stage where our opposite side of our bus, basically. We had to walk all over to these awesome aluminum stainless steel slides or whatever. You don't see those very often anymore. And it had rained, so I got a little wet. My butt got a little wet. Lexi took a pretty good video of me. The first time I went down, I went flying because of the water, and I ended up falling right off and just smacking my ass on the ground. But then I couldn't fall off the rest of the time. I had taken up all the water there, I guess, so. Good time. Yeah, we got back in the bus, and we headed back down to Kansas City. We played the, what was the Uptown Theater in Kansas City. Very old theater. A lot of artists have played there. Mac Miller, Buckethead, Logic, Jeff Beck, the Racketeers, all kinds of, so many of my favorite artists, Primus. And then there's me playing with Ryan Upchurch there, you know? I'm out there doing it, damn it. I'm out there doing it. It's crazy. My family drove out. Like I said, it was my birthday show. Michelle drove out. And we got all set up in there. Got it all together. Michelle got there. Family got there. We went, met them at this place called Joe's Barbecue. And that was some fine, good barbecue. But it gave me, or something gave me, a really bad belly after that. I shouldn't have had so much of their got some heat to it. There's a little kick in their barbecue sauce. The one I liked, I can't remember what it was called. But it definitely messed with my belly for the rest of the day. Great eating though. We had to wait in line outside for probably about 40 minutes, and it was worth it. So Nashville, we got world famous Jack's on we like West Trinity Lane Jack's. That's right, Skippy. And then in Kansas City, we like Joe's. Joe's barbecue's insane, man. And then what? I put my parents in the back of my van here, and we carted them back to the venue like Mexicans. I had my mom sitting on a drum throne, hanging on for dear life in the back there, and I don't know what my dad was sitting on, but yeah, I don't got but 2 seats in this van. Brought them to the show, showed them around. They got the early access, and there's a nice little viewing area they got to watch the whole show from, which was pretty sweet. I'll say this for just a short minute, and I'll comment on that show. That show was a shit show. We had Kansas City. You need to get it cleaned up. I don't know what's going on. I was there in Kansas City before 2020. I think 2017, 2018 or something like that. And I loved that place. I enjoyed the hell out of that place. Came back, and good God, is it not turning into Zombieland? Or what? Like, I mean, people are just, it's bad looking there, man. Like, there was this old corner convenience store that was like all open construction. Like, people could get hurt. And they had no roof, but it had brand new windows installed. And they weren't installed very well. I took pictures of it. What in the world is going on, Kansas City? You really made it not a great environment for us. I'm used to cities being the way they are, but I don't know what's going on there, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like everybody's got their act together. It kind of feels like everybody's smooching off each other and doing bad things to each other and not taking enough baths. Sorry to comment on on our stagehands and our venue employees, but it looked like you had a couple people living at the damn theater there. What's going on? I don't even think they had a bed. It looked like they were sleeping in a lazy boy. And I mean, that's like 10 feet from the stage. I'm walking by what would look like a production office maybe, or a closet. And it looks like somebody's been living in there. Like, all of their everything, possessions and whatnots in this small little area with the TV, and I just don't know what's going on there. Yeah, kind of bad deal. That's all I'll say. And if you come to our shows, do not come to fight. If you want to fight, you must take that shit outside. Take it outside. If you want to fight, take it outside like men. Holler boys don't fucking fight in the goddamn audience, motherfuckers. Alright? Creek Squad's supposed to be Creek Squad for a reason. We're all there to share, joy with each other. Live it up. And talk about freedom, individuality. Why the boys, from the backwoods are always going to be there for you. Not why we're going to fucking get mad at each other and beat the piss out of each other because you got something from Ryan and I didn't, or he looked at you and he didn't look at me, and all worried about whether you're going to get your fucking autograph. Come on, man. Quit with that. Somebody spills something on you. Ask him to apologize. It gets bad. Just fucking take the high road. Tell the security guard. Just walk somewhere else. Try to avoid this shit, man. You ain't got to stand on P in these moments. It just ain't worth it. Why? Because we're trying to have a good time. We're trying to have a good time with each other. We're the free people, right? I think that's what it feels like to me. We don't need to be fighting. And if we are going to get in a tussle, fucking take it away away from kids, man. I know what happened at the end of the night. The kids will never forget any of that stuff, but it still doesn't need to happen. It made for a really tough show. And that's all I'll say. So, here we are. Now, after that show, drove back home to Kansas City, Illinois. And my parents, my mom booked a insane hotel. We stayed out there, and then in the morning we drove back to Illinois. That was about 3 days ago, and now I'm on the road again, back to the Badlands, where we're gonna do some work. Make some songs, write some new stuff. Film a lot of content, and just gonna have a good time. Looking on the positives, not trying to think about this nasty well water situation we've got going on. Not gonna think about how we don't have no washer or dryer. Keep my mind on the prize, the goals that we have in mind, and really, I want to continue getting closer with everybody and see what we can accomplish. We've got some time set aside to do so. I might drive back home this week, occasionally, in between now and our next show in Kentucky. June 22nd, I think, is our next show in Kentucky. I don't know. I'm a guitar player in his van, living his life, living it up. I've really, here's a comment on how I feel about the music scene that I'm from. I'm now watching from the outside, and it's sad that I don't get to participate anymore, because I love all of you guys, anybody who's listening from my local community and music scene back in Springfield. I miss jamming with you all. I know I hadn't been going to the open mics a lot, but it's because I was staying focused, and you can see what happened when I stayed focused. You gotta earn your stripes, and then you need to stay focused. You know? I miss being a part of the scene, but I also kind of feel like I'm kind of saddened by some of the things I'm seeing. I don't know what's going on necessarily. It's sad to see, we lost Tom Summerlin not too long ago, and we just lost Fred Edmonds, two fantastic drummers, two guys that have always influenced me and young musicians for the better. Rest in peace to the both of you guys. I know you guys are jamming up there. Up there jamming with Sammy Draper. Making some great music, I guess I could stress to my music community, anybody who's listening, I hope you're listening. What I can stress to you all is to stay focused on the music. Don't worry about the fame. Stay focused on your music. Remember that it is the music community that matters kind of more than your music, It's about the sharing, the act of it, the doing of it, keeping it alive. I'm talking for many years that people don't understand that if we don't continue to have people who care and play good music, it will die. It won't be around anymore. There's a lot of music out there, and if you love it and you want it to continue to exist, then you have to do that very thing. You've got to play it, and you should play it well. Just play it for yourself, and then play it for everyone else. Encourage everybody to enjoy each other. Enjoy the time that we have. Enjoy what you have. That's something that I've been coming to terms with, and right before all of this happened to me, I was really coming to terms with it, trying to explain it to people. It's like, hey man, if we could want a little less, just a little less, if our hometown, if our music and our community and all of that was enough for us, why isn't it enough for us, I feel like, come on, guys. Come on, people. A guy like me, who's doing the things he's doing now, was trying to ask himself that this is enough. Trying to come to terms and find peace with that, And I could. I had gotten there. I had accepted. All right. If this is all my music career will ever be, then that's fine. That's it. I've got it. I love who I am. I love the music I can make. I love the people I make it for. I love the people I play it for. And I know whatever that was going to be, it was going to be. And that was about 2 months before all of this happened. I'd really, really came to terms with that finally. And I was trying to stress that to everybody else. I hope that everybody else can, embrace that. But if you can't, and you do have an urge for more and all of that, Springfield might not satisfy you enough. I get it. But it could. I've always had that outlook. Like, why can't you alone, if you were so special, if you believed in yourself so much, why wouldn't your surrounding area or the things that you do, why couldn't you make it happen exactly where you were? Why would you provide yourself with any excuse of why people weren't coming or anything? Why wouldn't you just be happy, with what you got? I guess that's really what I've looked at my music community, looking back now. It's been this long being away from it. I haven't played a show in Springfield since February. And I think it's funny how it's never enough, That's kind of the deal. And that goes for me as well. Like, look at me. I'm chasing these highs, doing all this stuff. I want bigger crowds. It's never enough, right? But if you could accept that our music community and what it has to offer, and our area, and the amount of people and the shows that it could provide, and which ones you want to play and how you want to play the game around there, and you go do all the things that you can do within the music community, and then ask yourself, are you satisfied? Have you done it all? Are you accomplishing your dreams? That's what I did. I played nearly everything in every event you could play in town, except the grandstands and the convention center. That's the only thing I haven't done. There's only a handful of us back home that really can say they've done that, I think. And when was the last time that happened? It's not like an annual thing. Every annual event, basically, I've played. And if you're not striving to do that, because you're not doing anything else in Springfield, then, what are you doing? What is it you're trying to accomplish with music? I don't know. I've just often thought that, there's nothing wrong with the music community or where you're at or where you're from. It's all about your perspective, the hat you put on each and every day, and how you use your situation, the cards that are dealt to you, make the best of it. And Springfield, Illinois, and its music community offered everything to me that it could possibly offer, and it still does to this day. That's why I love that place so much. It's got so many great musicians, so many of my friends and family. And when I think about the music community, there's just certain things about it that I've been stressing for years and will still stress, and it's like, everybody's got to love each other, got to focus more on about the thing that we love to do and sharing it with each other and trying to make it as big as possible. Again, I've had these conversations with Skippy so many times, and he turns away from it because he's so jaded by so many musicians from our area. So many of them just not seeing what we see. You know, like, he almost gives up. He gets angry a little bit. And I understand where that comes from. The disappointment in some of our musicians and bands and things. Like, I mean, at this point, guys, like, every supergroup's been tried, hasn't it? Almost like you weren't focusing on the music enough. Even if you're playing cover music. It's all about who you're playing with, right? How can we not all be friends? We've all nearly played with each other. Maybe most of us haven't. I don't know. But the thing that I always saw, and I told Skippy, was if we all would just come collectively together, we could possibly show the world how great we are and how much talent we have on any given night, in any given room. It's hard to get people to believe in something like that. It means you have to be selfless. It means you have to share the glory with people. Who wants to do that? Well, I found somebody who wants to do that. I found some people, actually, who want to do that. So, I guess, yeah, this past little segment of the podcast is me trying to communicate to my community back home, to remind y'all what it's all about. Believe in each other, use each other, not for a means to an end. You know? Use each other for ends to means, you know, like right? Isn't that what it is? Like using each other in ways that are beneficial towards each other, mutual beneficial relationships, you know, with music, through music. With people who can't play it, and as well as people who can play it, and then everybody else in between. Realize you might be those people who can't play it. Don't be getting those, delusions of grandeur about who you are as a musician. Like, I think that's why some of the best get imposter syndrome. It's because we're constantly telling ourselves we're not good enough. And then there's just people who are like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not that great, but you know what? Fuck it, I can't get any better. Y'all better accept me as who I am. I'm pretty good. It's like, yo, no, none of that. You better learn how to use your tools wisely if you don't have that many. Gotta know what you're working with here, alright? It is not the tool that makes the carpenter. The right tool for every situation can save you a lot of time and money. But if you are skillful and you have enough tools in your belt and you are truthful and honest about how you can use those tools, where their limits are, where your limits are with those tools are, then you could possibly be like a fantastic performer. Like, somebody who's just blatantly honest with themselves and their own talent, but knows how to use those talents, those small talents and all of those things, can do so much compared to somebody who is legendary status and technicality in their, on their instrument or whatever. I think that's why some musicians who are so super talented, jazzers, guys like that, get so jaded by people that have, an inkling of what their pinky has, in their pinky fingers ability as, The thing is that they have a set of tools they know how to use far better than you to engage and perform, engage the crowd and perform to, or whatever. Engage and perform to the crowd with. Yeah, something like that. And then when you do that and you hone that in over years, good gosh, you actually become very talented, I think. A guy like that, to me, Hitbone Sam is the ultimate example of the guy can play guitar, the guy can drum, he is a musician, he is not the best one. He can sing, he is not the best singer, but he can sing, and he can entertain, and he's one of the best entertainers. And then he knows all of his strengths, and that's what he uses to his benefit. And he hones it in, and he's done it for years. And when that man gets up and just starts doing it, it's fucking fantastic, man. Like, that guy will kick every talented musician's ass if they don't know what they're doing. Like, he'll just outperform you the whole time. The crowd will care far more about what he's doing than anything you're doing. And for good reason. Because it's fun and relatable and like, I don't know. I'm just saying, dude. Hitbone didn't need to be Eddie Van Halen to entertain, and that's what I'm trying to say to some people that are the in-betweeners. You either aren't a musician or you are, right? You are a player, you aren't. You are a performer, you aren't, right? But then there's some people in the middle on their way, right? And that's what you're trying to figure out sometimes. Like, and I think, Hitbone Sam's like a perfect example of a guy who honed in all of his abilities and knew all of his limits and just kept grinding and working. And yeah, dude, I mean, there's a game to this, like, this whole deal, and sometimes, and it's all about honesty. I think that's what it comes down to. And when you have a cheerful spirit, energy, excited to be doing it. These are all benefits to you and the people around you. I don't know. Make it less about you and more about the thing that you're doing and how much you want to share it with others and how happy it makes you to share with them, and if they are happy to share it with you, man, especially sharing time, good time with each other. Life is hard, and family and community make it everything, man. And I miss you guys. I miss Springfield music community right now, quite a bit. I love hanging out. I miss the hangs. I miss the open mics. I miss the jams. And I hope everybody stays grinding. I know things are going to change, and I'm going to miss out on a lot. But I hope to see accomplishments still being made back home. And I want to see music stay alive. So, anybody back home who's listening, that's in the part of the music community, spread this message, please. Keep it up. Keep up the hard work. I think that's it. I think I'm probably about, 30, 40 minutes out from the Badlands. I'm going to let y'all go. This has been the Guitar Player and His Van. Guitar Player and His Van podcast. His van. What was that? Hope you join me next time. Maybe I'll be coming back from the Badlands, talking about what we've accomplished so far. Hopefully we get a lot done. I need to find a way to sign out. A good way to sign out. I'm gonna come up with something. I'll improv right now for something. To all you freedom-loving individuals out there, the Island Boys, the Island Girls, the Greek Squad, the what have yous. Be well, stay well, mean well. I love you. Peace out.